Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to dive right in and break down our source material to map out exactly how ChatGPT is being integrated across the entire modern professional ecosystem. We are moving way past that initial novelty phase of AI. What we're doing today is dissecting how this technology is fundamentally rewiring the way different sectors operate day in and day out. As you'll see later on, it's pretty incredible how a single foundational tool can flawlessly pivot from generating these expansive, creative marketing campaigns straight into executing rigid, precise financial accounting, literally in the blink of an eye. We're talking about a structural change that is completely redefining modern work.
So let's kick things off with a pretty massive foundational question. Are we just looking at a simple tool here? Maybe a glorified calculator or an advanced spell checker? Or are we witnessing a fundamental shift in how businesses actually operate, from the ground up? To really grasp the impact of ChatGPT, we've got to look past the surface level hype. We need to examine the deep, structural changes happening right now within organizations, completely transforming them from the inside out.
To answer that, we'll follow this roadmap. First, we'll cover office operations and management. Second, marketing and financial integration. Third, education and journalism applications. And finally, complex analysis and investigation. All right, let's start at the foundational layer of any business with Section 1, Office Operations and Management.
Historically, office operations have been totally bogged down by slow, isolated silos. Just think about the standard workflow for a second. You've got long, disconnected email chains, meeting notes scattered across half a dozen hard drives, and hours of manual data entry just to keep everyone on the same page. It's highly fragmented, right? Now, contrast that with the reality of daily operations powered by ChatGPT. We aren't dealing with isolated tasks anymore. We're seeing interconnected speed. The AI acts like this centralized hub that just removes the friction between fragmented tasks. Imagine finishing an hour-long, highly complex strategy meeting. Instead of a project manager spending half their day compiling notes, ChatGPT instantly digests the transcript, summarizes the key takeaways into actionable bullet points, and then instantly drafts customized follow-up emails for every single department involved. Efficiency isn't just about humans working faster anymore. It's about completely eliminating the friction between administrative tasks.
And this interconnected speed fundamentally changes the flow of management and execution. Let's look at how high-level strategy translates into action. Traditionally, leadership might outline a massive goal, let's say launching an entirely new product line in a foreign market within 6 months. Breaking that broad goal down into a workable timeline usually takes weeks of planning committees. But with operational deployment through ChatGPT, that high-level directive is instantly synthesized. The AI generates targeted, day-by-day operational plans. It establishes concrete timelines, assigns specific departmental roles, and even flags potential logistical bottlenecks before they actually happen. This flows seamlessly into daily execution, where individual teams are handed clear, AI-assisted directives. It connects the vision in the boardroom directly to the execution on the floor in a fraction of the time it used to take. It's really accelerating the entire corporate metabolism.
Moving right up the ecosystem, let's jump into Section 2, Marketing and Financial Integration.
Now, these two departments, marketing and finance, usually seem like total opposites in the corporate world. Yet fascinatingly, both are being transformed simultaneously by the exact same underlying engine. In marketing, the AI is explicitly prompted to be expansive, highly creative, and intensely audience-focused. Marketers use it to brainstorm multi-channel ad campaigns, write dynamic copy that adapts to different demographics, and pull diverse messaging angles practically out of thin air. It's this tool of infinite expansion. But conversely, over in accounting and finance, the parameters flip entirely. There is zero room for creativity in a ledger. Here, the tool is rigidly constrained. It becomes deeply precise and strictly data-driven. Financial analysts are using ChatGPT to write incredibly complex Excel macros, to help meticulously reconcile end-of-quarter ledgers, and to instantly extract highly specific fiscal data points from hundreds of pages of dense reports. Think about that. The exact same system writing a witty social media post is simultaneously auditing the company's financial health.
So, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that whether you're brainstorming a viral campaign or meticulously reconciling those ledgers, the underlying operational integration remains exactly the same. We are looking at one single foundational tool driving two completely different types of cognitive work. And this matters immensely for the future of business overhead. Historically, companies had to invest heavily in dozens of highly specialized, disconnected software tools. One platform for brainstorming, a totally different enterprise system for financial tracking. Now, One adaptable, centralized model can flex to fit the task at hand. It consolidates the whole software stack, which drastically lowers operational costs while exponentially increasing cognitive output across every single department. Let's step completely outside the corporate domains now for Section 3, Education and Journalism Applications.
Entering the realm of public information and learning, we're witnessing a profound structural shift in how complex information is communicated and understood. The societal impact here is just massive. In education, ChatGPT is moving way past the basic use case of just writing essays. It's actively functioning as a deeply personalized, highly responsive tutor. Imagine a high school student struggling with advanced physics. The AI doesn't just hand them the answer, it assesses their specific learning level and dynamically adjusts its explanation. It breaks down complex thermodynamic principles using analogies tailored specifically to that student's interests, like explaining it through how a car engine works or the cooling system of a video game console. Meanwhile, in journalism, the technology is tackling the sheer, overwhelming velocity of information. Newsrooms are deploying AI to rapidly digest massive government press releases or lengthy legal rulings in seconds. It structures breaking news outlines and translates dense, bureaucratic jargon into accessible, public-facing language almost instantly. It is fundamentally altering how our society processes, synthesizes, and ultimately distributes knowledge.
Which brings us to the final, most advanced tier of our ecosystem approach: complex analysis and investigation. Here, we're moving well past basic text generation and stepping into the realm of deep cognition. ChatGPT is functioning as a massive cognitive multiplier for the highest level investigative work. For instance, when it comes to sorting vast data, legal professionals and corporate investigators aren't spending days manually reading through dusty archives anymore. They're feeding the AI thousands of pages of legal documents, discovery files, or medical research papers to instantaneously extract very specific buried clauses or critical data points. On top of that, the AI is identifying hidden patterns that would simply exhaust a human brain. It spots subtle statistical correlations across massive, unstructured data sets, things like trends in consumer behavior or anomalies in global supply chains that humans might easily miss just because of the sheer volume of information. And finally, it's assisting in deep cognitive investigation by acting as an active, tireless sounding board. Lead researchers use it to pressure test their own hypotheses, asking the AI to poke holes in their arguments or suggest totally out-of-the-box avenues of inquiry. It's basically an investigative partner that has seemingly read nearly everything ever published. When we pull back and look across all these diverse domains, a remarkably clear, unified picture emerges. There's an absolutely equal distribution of integration happening across the board. ChatGPT isn't some niche tool reserved exclusively for the IT department, and it certainly isn't a temporary experiment confined to a tech lab. It is a structural, foundational component integrated seamlessly across the entire cognitive spectrum of the modern workplace. It handles the most routine, repetitive admin tasks just as effectively as it tackles the most complex, abstract investigative research. The entire foundation of knowledge work is literally shifting simultaneously. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to consider about your own future. If we're entering a professional ecosystem where artificial intelligence can flawlessly handle daily operations, precisely manage complex finances, and conduct rapid, deep-level analysis, what uniquely human skill will you choose to master? Because in a world where technical execution is completely automated, your human creativity, your radical empathy, and your broad strategic vision might just be your most valuable assets. Thanks for joining me, and keep exploring.